This is Brian, and we are getting ready to count down to 420. We go live in two guys. Today, it's True Crime Thursday, and we are looking at convicted felons, murderers, all sorts of people that have competed in a Super Bowl. That's right, guys. We're talking bloody rings. Who has a bloody championship ring? We're going to find out, guys. We're going to go live in two. Stay tuned. We'll see you in a minute.
Get set, because it's time to go with the It's 420 Somewhere podcast. With your host with the most, the man voted most likely to smoke out with a Yeti, Mr. Brian Brown. Mr. Brian Brown. Now sit back and relax, because it's time to go live across the world. Because it's 420 Somewhere.
Oh, we are live. How's everyone doing? What is happening? What is shaking? Welcome to the It's 420 Somewhere podcast, guys. I'm your host, Brian Brown, and what this is, what you've stumbled into, is the craziest, the wildest, the wackiest 420 countdown show of all time, guys. We do a strain review. Then we get into crazy, crazy stuff. We count down to 420, and then we get into crazy stuff. We do movie Mondays. We do true crime, paranormal Tuesday, weed Wednesday, true crime Thursday, like today, guys, and then baked and unboxed on Friday. But today, guys, we are talking true crime. And with the Super Bowl in town, the Super Bowl happening, the Super Bowl's been shaken. We are going to talk about convicted felons that have played in the Super Bowl, murderers, rapists. I'm just gonna say, some baddies, some bad hombres, as they say over there on the news. Those bad hombres playing football. I thought that was kind of an interesting factor that you got millionaires that are still getting convicted of crimes and stuff. So we're going to kind of dive into it, guys, separate fact from fiction, see and why these guys can't leave their crazy lives, when they become millionaires, man. I know you don't want to give up your friends and that kind of stuff, but man, Bad news is bad news. Rosie Key, how you doing today? How you doing? How's Jim doing? Make sure he knows that we send him the love, all the love. Fight for freedom. Chantel, how you liking that snow up there? Lonnie, how you doing, buddy? How you doing? Are you ready for the Super Bowl, my friend? Chris Zucchini, how you doing? Oh, Diamond Ships. Nice. I gotta hear how that is. Rosie Key. Tim W, how you doing, buddy? How you doing with the memes? Oh, man, a ton of people up in here. Hope everyone is having a good day. Eric, a broken brain of Eric, how's it going? How did you like that unboxing, buddy? How did you enjoy doing it? Name a movie for me and the wife to watch tonight. Vanilla Sky. Tom Cruise, Penelope Cruz, Cameron Diaz, Brian Lee. Great movie. Or Jason Lee. I'm Brian Lee. I'm in the damn movie, man. Hey, Nova Mike, Supernova Mike, how you doing, buddy? How you doing? I definitely would. Vanilla Sky. I think you like it. It has all the twists and turns. I won't give it. Vanilla Sky. That's the one. All right. I'm just giving out movie reviews, guys. Just giving out movie reviews. We got 2 minutes for 420, guys, and I am not getting into astronauts today. That was yesterday. Today, I'm giving it up for the Jelly Wizard. That's right, guys. Woo, the Jelly Wizard. It sounds like a pervert that hangs out in Central Park. Watch out for the Jelly Wizard, guys. It's a rite of passage. When you're 14, if you can make it through the Jelly Wizard, you're all good. You're all good. So this is a white truffles, guys, and this is coming in at about 30%, 28% to be precise. To be precise on the money. Let's give it a little. Ooh, it smells fresh. Smells sweet. It has like a sweet aroma. Check this out here. Get my big head out of the way. Let me turn that a little more like that. Right, there we go. Yeah, look at that. Nice frosty. Look at all that frost on there. Nice big buds in there. You get about 5 buds in there, all about that size. Pretty decent. I did the cheesecake and the black ice of the Jelly Wizard, and I really liked it, man. I thought it was pretty good. Decent weed, guys. I think it comes in about $20 an eighth. I'd go check it out. And hey, what's up, Charlie? How you doing, buddy? How you doing? Got everyone. Jim Surgery's next surgery will be on the 20th of this month. Hernia. Jim has a hyena. Jim has a hyena, guys. Remember, what's that movie, 16 Candles? Remember that? So, yeah, anyway, guys, white truffles, hybrid, super freaking fire. It's a little more sativa, but I like it. I like it a lot. Gets you super high. Definitely recommend you guys grabbing the Jelly Wizard. I told my son when he was a teenager, no grabbing the Jelly Wizard. Damn it. Do that in private. The Jelly Wizard, guys. I just like saying Jelly Wizard. All right, it's 420, guys. So whatever you're doing, blow up those comments, guys. Whatever you're getting into, whatever you're smoking on, I want you to stop. Appreciate what we got, guys. Appreciate all the goodness, all the greatness. Inhale that positivity, exhale that negativity. We're around, we're fighting, and let's do it, guys. It is 420. And boom! How was your 420, guys? Mine was good. I can't wait. I didn't smoke at that 420. I smoked before. I can't wait to light it up. I cough when I smoke, so I don't want to have you guys endure that while we're trying to do a show, damn it. The show must go on. That's right. Oh, let me turn this down. Here we go. Puff Puff Dab. That's right. Hey guys, dance baby dance. Teresa Dellers. Stizzy 40. Stizzies are good, man. Stizzies are really good. Happy 420 somewhere, y'all. I love the emojis. I love them, love them, love them. Top shelf, but it's 100 for a half ounce. Woo, woo. I'm actually gonna get some Dilaudid, not Dilaudid like the drug. There's a Dilaudid weed that's like 50, like 48%, something like that. I'm gonna pick some up today. Missed the entire beginning because YouTube was stuck waiting for the show to start. Oh man, YouTube. Oh man. All right, guys. True Crime Thursday. We usually do a top 5 list of something. So before we get into convicted felons that have played in the Super Bowl, I want to talk about the 7 most shocking arrests during Super Bowl week history, guys. The Super Bowl usually brings out the best in the players and coaches that participate in it. Unfortunately, it has the capability of bringing out the worst in people as well. While the game's good moment far outweighs the bad ones, there are occasions in which trouble intervenes in the middle of a circus-like event. Here are 7 instances in which seemingly invincible folks couldn't outrun the law around pro football's premier event, guys. All right, coming in at number 1, Warren Sapp. 6 of the 7 unfortunate members of the list were active players at the time of their incident. Sapp is the only one that had been retired. The former defenseman lineman was in South Florida for his duties as an analyst with the NFL Network for Super Bowl XLIV, whichever one that is. On February 7th, 2010, Sapp was arrested in South Florida and charged with domestic battery. He was pulled from NFL Network temporarily, and eventually charges against him were dropped. I got into it with the ladies. You not spend enough time with me. You're too busy talking football. I want to go to eat some lobster. It's Florida. We're going partying. And Warren Sapp says no. And then, man, especially when you're at work, woo, man, and they call like that, that's rough. Adrian Awesome. That's his real name. AWASOM. Awesome. When you're on the injured reserve list and you're unable to participate in practices and game prep, you have plenty of time on your hands. Adrian Awesome didn't use that time wisely. The backup defensive end of the New York Giants was arrested on suspicion of extreme DUI, or double the legal limit. The team sent him home, and he watched the Giants stun the previously unbeaten Patriots 7-14 in the Super Bowl. I bet you he didn't even get a ring. If he would have just sat on the bench and not got drunk, he would have had a ring, baby. A good ring, too. The Giants, they upset that was the year they went undefeated, right? The Patriots up to the Super Bowl. That would have been bragging rights right there. All right, number 3, guys, Willie Anderson. On February 3rd, 2008, New England Patriots saw their perfect season blemished by New York Giants in Super Bowl XL11. We just talked about that. 2 days later, their backup safety proved that their players are far from perfect as well. Andrew was caught with $6,800 in cash, half pound of marijuana, and unregistered Crown Victoria. All 3 of those things are just bad news altogether. Like, you're a football player, $7,000 cash, that's nothing. Half pound of weed, all right, you're okay. Unregistered Crown Vic, what are you trying to do? You got all 3 check marks. He was arrested in Lowell, Massachusetts, charged with possession of marijuana with intent to distribute for operating an unregistered motor vehicle. I'm assuming that got dropped on a plea bargain. Trouble wasn't uncommon for Andrews, who in 2002 was sentenced to 30 days in prison after pleading guilty to misdemeanor gun charges. Eugene Robinson. experienced one of the strangest twists of irony in NFL history as his Atlanta Falcons were one day away from playing in the Super Bowl. Robinson was given the Bart Starr Award as an honor for a player who displays high moral character. Unfortunately for the safety, the credibility he gained by obtaining that award vanished very soon after. The same evening, Robinson was arrested by an undercover female police officer posing as a prostitute as he offered her for $40 for oral sex. Don't be a cheapskate, man. That's $100 bill, easy. No wonder you got arrested. She probably wasn't even a cop. Probably just turned you in, you cheapskate. Robinson's performance on the field the next evening wasn't much better, as his blown coverage allowed the Denver Broncos receiver Rod Smith to haul in over 80 yards touchdown reception. Woo! Stanley Wilson. Okay, this isn't an arrest, but this is such an awful lack of judgment that it deserves to be in the right place among this list. Ordinary, most players like to go get a good night's sleep on the night before the biggest games of their life. Cincinnati Bengals running back Stanley Wilson had less than successful mode of preparation for Super Bowl XX1. Instead of going to the final team meeting, Wilson went on a cocaine bender and was found high by his possession coach, Jim Anderson. It was his third relapse, which banned him from the NFL for life. The Bengals went on to lose 20-16 to the 49ers. Damn, lose your whole career for a bump. Man. Brett Robbins. The incident just before Super Bowl XXV2 in San Diego isn't an arrest, but was part of a downfall that led to multiple legal troubles. Instead of getting ready to face the vaunted Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense, Robbins disappeared from the team hotel on Saturday, went on a drinking binge in Tijuana. The Oakland offensive lineman was so incoherent that he actually thought his Raiders had already won the game. Upon being found, Robbins was sent home and Oakland got crushed by Tampa 48-21. On January 15th, 2005, he was charged and convicted with attempted murder. Robbins has spent most of the last 6 years either in jail or rehab to his substance abuse. Woo! And then the number one guys, this is no surprise, Ray Lewis, who's going to make both lists this time, guys. Ray Lewis has a sterling reputation as a football player, but off the field moments still cloud his legacy slightly. After a Super Bowl party, XXXIV party, the future Hall of Famer linebacker was involved in a brawl that resulted in the stabbing death of two men. 11 days later, Lewis and his two male friends were indicted on murder and aggravated assault charges. Lewis was eventually acquitted of murder, but was convicted of obstruction of justice. So those were your players that get arrested during Super Bowl week, guys. Brian, after Super Bowl, will you post a link to the commercial? Yeah, actually, it's not going to be during the commercial. I'm going to air it tomorrow, guys. It's rendering right now. It's done. I had to use the big boy computer. I usually use my tablet and stuff, but it was such a high compression that I had to use the big boy computer. So tomorrow at 7:10, guys, I'll air it, and then I will post a link all by itself on all the socials as well. It's going to be pretty good. Let's see what else we got. I remember that one, Football Dummies, Money Talks. Yeah, that was a big one. They give you 3 relapses at least. Yeah, I guess 3 strikes, you're out, even though it's football. That's crazy, man, that they would actually like let you. And you know what? They must have just been sick of him, because if you really think about it, they caught him, the team. Did they really even necessarily need to tell the league? You know what I mean? Like, what would they could have hit it very well. They're probably like, this dude, Super Bowl. That's usually like, I would be okay if you're getting fired over something, leaving your team stranded during Super Bowl weekend. of the biggest game ever, yeah, I think you got some more problems than just football. You need to go get your stuff worked out. All right, guys. Sorry, I just had to do this real quick. Boom. All right. Let's get in to. Oh, I don't have it up. I didn't have it up. Hang on. Convicted. Convicted criminals. I had my stuff up that have played in the Super Bowl. You know, the list is actually pretty surprising. And I don't know if it should be, but yeah, it's pretty surprising, guys. So, number 1 on our list, these are convicted criminals that have competed in a Super Bowl, guys. Number 1, we just talked about him, Ray Lewis. Ray Lewis has left his mark as one of the greatest players of all time, as a team leader on the field and faced in the face of an organization. Lewis took the newly formed Baltimore Ravens and gave them an identity, strong, sophisticated defensive team. He's a Hall of Famer, 2-time Super Bowl winner, both accomplished and would seem unbelievable back in 2000 when he was named in connection with a double murder. Yeah, we just talked about that, guys. So he was at a Super Bowl party. Dude got stabbed. He was acquitted, but he got pled guilty to obstruction of justice. So technically, he is a convicted criminal. Played in the Super Bowl. Aldon Smith. In the first 2 seasons of his NFL career, Aldon Smith looked like one of the best young defensive players in football. Why is it always the defensive guys? According to ESPN, Smith was drafted by the San Francisco 49ers 7th overall. He blossomed into an elite pass rusher. 5 days after his rookie season ended, Smith was arrested for suspicion of driving under the influence in Miami. Smith played every game in 2012 and led San Francisco to a Super Bowl appearance. His fellow players named him 7th best player in the league, and then the wheels fell off from there. Since 2013, Smith has been arrested 5 times, including 3 times in a 2-month span in 2018. These include weapons charges, DUIs, domestic violence, and make false bomb threats to Los Angeles International Airport. What the fuck? I'm going to miss my flight. Let's do a bomb threat. He has seen jail time, rehab time, and was cut by both the 49ers and the Raiders during this period. Before the 2020 season, the Dallas Cowboys signed the Trouble Star to a 1-year deal. And as told by Saturday Down South, according to the Dallas Cowboys page, Smith's journey back began when he lost his grandma to ALS. One of her final messages to him was do better. So now he's trying to get it together. Sometimes that's all you need to hear, man. Grandma, slap your ass. Say, do better, motherfucker. I'm dying. Do better. All right. Barrett Robbins. The Super Bowl is the goal for every player when the first arrive for training camp. However, bipolar disorder and substance addiction does not care for the desires of any player. For Barrett Robbins, the dreams of Super Bowl glory ended before they even began. According to Sportcaster, 2 days before the Oakland Raiders and Tampa Bay Buccaneers would duel it out in the Super Bowl, Robinson's disappeared from the hotel the Raiders were staying at. Is this where the one that he went to? Yeah, he went to Mexico. This is the guy. According to NBC, he was no condition to play when returned 2 hours before the game, and Oakland lost to Tampa Bay. He was checked into the rehab clinic shortly after and was diagnosed with bipolar disorder. In college at TCU, Robbins was arrested for burglary and diagnosed with depression, but not bipolar disorder. During his second year in Oakland, he was arrested for dining and dashing after being sent home from the team. You're a fucking football. What are you dining and dashing for? What? I don't even do that. What? Robbins has spent the past 2 decades either behind bars or in rehab, struggling to control his many demons. The fucking dine and dash demon. You got to watch out for that one. Plexico Burrows. I remember this one. This fool. This fucking fool. Talk about shooting yourself in the foot. or in this case, in the leg. Less than a year after scoring the game-winning touchdown in the Super Bowl for his New York City Giants, or just New York Giants, wide receiver Plexico Burress' life and career took a turn. He literally shot himself and was arrested. In Super Bowl XL22 or 1-1, Burress caught the go-ahead touchdown pass to give the Giants a 17-14 upset victory over the undefeated New England Patriots. Take that, Brady. According to ESPN, the Giants came into the following season better than the year before, winning 10 of their first 11. The team looked like to be the favorites as repeat champions. In November 2008, Burress, who was at the time not playing because of a hamstring injury, and teammate Antonio Pierce were at a nightclub when Burress' gun went off, according to New York police. Burress did not think he shot himself until he realized he was bleeding down his leg. Pierce then drove him to the hospital and checked him under a false name. Because of New York's strict guns laws, he was given 20 months in jail and would lose four, and the Giants would lose 4 of their last 6 games and not repeat as champion. Woo! Talk about getting yourself in some trouble, man. What about Barry Switzer? Who remembers the coach, Barry Switzer? He could have gone to a lounge and totally got blown away and still been able to play, right? Right? I mean, that's just crazy. OJ. Did OJ play in a Super Bowl? I didn't think about that one. Did OJ play in a Super Bowl? All right, guys. So Barry Switzer. I think he was the coach, right? A coach is supposed to be the leader of men. For Dallas Cowboys coach Barry Switzer, not Derry, his team sure took a lot of from their coach. The Cowboys of the 1990s were one of the greatest and most controversial team in NFL history, winning games as much as winning front page headlines. According to the Spokane Review, by 1997, the team was hoping to clean up their image. Then their head coach was arrested for having a loaded revolver at an airport. It's Texas. Switzer, according to the Encyclopedia of Arkansas, joined the Cowboys in 1994 following one of the most successful 10 years in NCAA history. Despite his success, Dallas Cowboy owner Jerry Jones was said to be furious. The New York Times reported carrying a weapon into an airport could have landed the coach 2 to 10 years in prison and a $10,000 fine. I don't think the $10,000 fine is the issue there. Switzer pled guilty to a misdemeanor common for individuals with a clean record. He was fined $3,500 and given 1 year deferred education. And disappointing in the 1997 season, Switzer resigned from head coach position, ending his football career. That's that's something different, man. That's something different. Let's see who else we got. I'm trying to see if we got OJ in the house on this one. Eugene Robinson. Imagine on the last day of school when students are receiving awards for this and that, and the award for perfect attendance go to a student who so happens to not be there that day. Eugene Robinson is that child. According to Sportcasting, the night before Super Bowl, the same night he received an award for exemplifying outstanding character and leadership in the home and on the field and in the community, All-Pro Atlanta Falcons safety Eugene Robinson was arrested for solicitation of an undercover cop. These are situations that late night talk show hosts live for. Not long after he's like, hey, I'm going to celebrate, man. I'm a pillar of the community. Let me go get laid. Not long after the arrest, Robinson returned the award to the Athletics in Action organization that originally handed out the honor. According to, you know what, that's a step up thing to do. After being released, ESPN reports that he spent 5 hours in his hotel room praying with his Falcon teammates. Cornelius Bennett, Ray Buckeye, and William White. Despite the embarrassment, Robinson, with the support of his coach, Dan Reeves, played in the Super Bowl. Unfortunately, Robinson's struggles continue, giving up 80-yard touchdown pass in the game. Falcons lost to the Broncos 34-19. Oh, man. Robinson called it the worst night of his life. All right, here's a big one, guys. Aaron Hernandez. I know we all know who that one is, right? Not since O.J. Simpson has a player captured the headlines of the United States like Aaron Hernandez. Less than 2 years after making his appearance in the Super Bowl, scoring touchdowns in the game, and less than a year after receiving a massive contract extension, making him rich beyond his dreams, Hernandez lost it all over being arrested and eventually convicted of murder. In this story, there is more than one body lying cold in the morgue. According to SB Nation, a week after the initial search warrant of his home, in North Attleboro, Massachusetts, Hernandez was arrested and charged with first-degree murder on January 26th. The next day was announced by investigators that the victim, Odin Lloyd, had knowledge of another murder, that this double homicide from the previous year that Hernandez had a hand in. While playing at the University of Florida in 2007, Hernandez was questioned for a double shooting but was never charged. Then less than a year after his initial charge, the murder of Lloyd Hernandez was charged for the murder of Lloyd. Hernandez was charged for double murders in 2012. Hernandez was found guilty of first-degree murder in the Lloyd case, carrying a sentence of life with no parole. On April 14, 2017, Hernandez was acquitted for double murder. 5 days later, the 27-year-old took his own life. Since then, studies have showed that he suffered from a severe case of CTE. He was acquitted. I didn't know he was acquitted. And then he killed himself. Wow. Well, that's a bummer note. Oh man, hey, Honey Nut Heroin, how's it doing? I thought I saw you at Walmart today. I ran up to some lady. I'm like, Honey Nut, and she's like, huh? And I'm like, oh, Cheerios, and just like I was a confused old man, which is kind of easy to pull off. Oh man. John was gifted a doctor. Oh, John, a gifted doctor. I was like, was gifted a doctor. I was like, is this some doctor hanging out? Oh, John Phantom in the house. How you doing? Messed up part is my mom was a doctor. CAT scare. What is it? CTE, man. I didn't know Aaron Hernandez was acquitted after that, guys. That's pretty crazy. Didn't Cheddar Bob shoot himself in the leg in 8 Mile? Yeah, Cheddar Bob did shoot himself. My mom told me she got an MRI today and wore rings. I'm so surprised my mom hasn't. She wore rings? That's crazy. Hey, yo, Cholo. How you doing, yo, Cholo? How's it going, buddy? I had a great interview with those guys over there yesterday over at the Mod Squad, guys. Make sure you're checking them out. All right, I'm going to get out of here, guys. I got groceries that need to be put away. I got back from Sam's Club and had to run as quick as I could to get to the show, and I got groceries waiting to be put away. So I'm going to put them away, guys. I will see you tomorrow at 7:10 a.m. It's Free for All Friday. We're going to look at the Super Bowl commercial, guys, the Healing Center, the Daily Dank Super Bowl commercial. You guys are going to love it. Just wait, and then I'll post it by itself in case you miss it. All right, guys, I will see you in the morning at 7:10 a.m., and we'll see. Appreciate each and every one of you. God bless you guys. We'll see you in a minute.
Thank you for joining us on the It's 420 Somewhere podcast. Broadcasting worldwide and brought to you by thedailydank.com. Check out our merchandise and amazing content. And follow us on all our social media. Now, you don't have to go home, but you can't stay here.
We'll see you guys.